We're already finished. I hate to say this, but I think it's the end of the American empire. Our Federal Reserve Bank, our Treasury, and our government has messed up the US dollar so much that they have to find a way to keep people happy. The stimulus money they print, everybody says, oh God, it's because of they shut the economy down and this and that. Everybody says, yeah, so they're going to give me PPP and all of this stuff. So just remember this, that money comes from production. And when we pay people not to produce, which is PPP and all that, we're just paying them not to revolt. And that's what happened during the Roman times. And so that's why I say it's the end of the American empire, because our money is corrupt. Now, would I take the money? Absolutely. We're talking about it. Don't fight the government, don't fight the Fed, don't fight politics. If they're going to give me $1,000, I'll take it, but I would convert it into either gold, silver, or Bitcoin. So now it's all coming apart at the seams. So gold, silver, Bitcoin, they're not the answer, but they're kind of an insurance policy against the incompetence of our leaders. The more the government pay, and this is globally, it's not just the US or it's not a racial thing. They're just paying everybody not to work today because the monetary system is coming apart. But you've got to be smarter than the government, which is not that hard to do. And it's just coming apart right now. And when the Fed talks about stimulus checks, well, the only people that get rich are Bezos and Zuckerberg. They get all that money for free. It goes into them via BlackRock, a hedge fund, and it goes straight into Wall Street. And then the guys who own Facebook and Amazon get richer. It's always been socialism, but they don't tell you that. The Federal Reserve Bank is a socialist or a communist organization, but they'll never tell you that. The more I studied, the more I felt I needed a shower. They were just lying to us. When the market crashed in 2020, March of 2020, only 16% of the teachers, firefighters, and police officers' pension was funded, 16%. So they had $16 for every 100 they owed. Now it's down to 6. They're broke. So they're covering all of this up. So they want to bring UBI in so they can just mass produce money. And then so they're going to pay people not to work so they can escape. There's a thing called the debt to GDP ratio. So when the thing crashed in 2020 in March, the debt went up and the GDP, the gross domestic product, went down. So that's what I was saying. So we produce less, debt went up, GDP went down. And if this coronavirus comes back, which I think it will, we're bankrupt. Because the debt to GDP, once debt to GDP passes 90%, we're bankrupt. Today it's 115% debt to GDP in America. So we're already bankrupt. And so the UBI is no different than the Romans paying the Roman citizens to sit in the Colosseum and watch the Dallas Cowboys play the Green Bay Packers. Nothing really changes. People are that stupid. But they don't know. They really don't know. What they're doing is they're propping up zombies. And zombies are companies that are mismanaged, like Hertz right now is completely bankrupt. Boeing is bankrupt. The cruise ships are bankrupt. Ford's bankrupt. And the Fed, the Treasury, and Wall Street keep propping them up. Well, it makes it harder for your generation. Like I always said to the millennials, man, you guys have been screwed. It's a monetary war, which is why I always ask the question, why doesn't school teach us about money? That's not an accident. So that's why, I say to your generation, with that iPhone, become an entrepreneur. So you don't need the job security, nothing wrong with it, but you don't want to need it. And you don't need the UBI, you don't need the paycheck. If you can get off of needing that paycheck, you're free. If you can make your own money. You want to be anti-fragile. The harder it's on you, the stronger you want to get. And as you know, there's a lot of snowflakes out there and a lot of cream puffs and a lot of wimps. And it's their right to be a wimp, but they're still wimps. I was watching CNBC That's another communist organization. But they had this guy named Jim Grant get on there, and he was explaining exactly what I'm saying to you guys. You can't just keep printing this money. And so CNBC asked him, so what should you do? He says, buy gold and buy silver. He said, they're going to destroy the dollar. And the guy, Joe Kernan of CNBC, says, that's such an old idea. You know, gold and silver have been here since God created this earth. And Bitcoin is the next replacement to that. So for your generation, it really is to get outside of what mainstream media says is the right way to think, and think for yourselves. People still say to their kids, go to school, work hard, you know, save money, save till it hurts. It's really stupid. And that's because people cannot think, because they went to school to get that job.